Hello, my name is Mike Aben and welcome to Making History Mission 10. This is a series in which I am going through all of the missions in the Making History DLC, and we are on our final mission. Yes, this is going to be the last episode in this little series. We are on Ziggy Kerman and the spiders from Duna. Well, I guess that kind of gives away what our destination is going to be, so why don't we get straight into the mission summary. Our next step is exploring our solar system beyond our moons. Our next goal is our nearest neighbor, Duna. Oh, funny that. I always thought Eve was the, well, you know, we'll let that go. The PR team is dealing with rumors that Duna is inhabited with giant robotic spiders. I have no idea where folks get this stuff, but at least they aren't claiming that Kerbin is flat anymore. Yeah, at least they're making progress. Let's see, our goal is to build an unmanned probe chock full of scientific instruments to explore Duna and disprove this dumb spider theory once and for all. My high score that I got, and this was on my first time through as well, 13,000 points. Oh my gosh, that is a lot of points, and it's not the most that you can get either. You can actually get up to 14,000 points. This one's not such a hard one. You can see that was good enough for gold. There are some things you can let slide. In fact, that's exactly what I did when I was playing this and realized, oh, I got enough for gold anyway. The hell with this, let's finish this off, and I will point out where you can and where you can't let things slide, but why don't we get ourselves started? And as you can see, we are starting in the VAB, and we have to build ourselves Dunar 4. But of course, I've already built it, so let's take a look at my Dunar 4. Not exactly sure what the what reference they're going for here. My best guess is Mariner 4. I think so. Mariner was a whole series of American interplanetary probes booting around the inner solar system from the 60s and 70s. And Mariner 4 did go and do a flyby of Mars and returned information, obviously, regarding Mars. So maybe that's what they're going for. I really can't think of anything. But anyway, this is my spacecraft. I swear I spent more time filling around with the booster than I did with the actual probe, but we'll get to that just a little bit. Let's take a look at the requirements. Can't put any Kerbals on it as much as we would like to. Let's look. We got to put on a ton of science. Vessel requires these parts: the 2-hot thermometer, the M700 survey scanner. That's the big dish type and scanner. And as soon as I saw that that had to go, my thought of building a little tiny probe, I wanted to use little tiny parts, and I wanted to go with ion thrusters and all, and then realized, nope, that wasn't going to work. This is too much crap to haul. Let's see, the M4435 narrowband scanner, the press map barometer, and the atmospheric fluid spectrovariometer. All right, but, well, you know what? Let's get started. We'll meet the probe, well, when the appropriate time comes. Departure for Doom! Wait here. I see that you... Oh, Walt here. I always think this... Oh dear. Okay, Walt here. I see that you built the probe, even though I've warned you about the Duna threat. At least no Kerbinauts will risk its life on this nonsense of a mission. Let's hope you won't stumble on any giant robotic spiders there, or they might find their way back here. But first, let's reach Kerbin's parking orbit at 200 kilometers of an apoapsis and periapsis. Yes, let's do that. In fact, as far as launch windows go, of course, when you're going interplanetary, launch windows become very, very important. Thankfully, they decided that we don't have to worry about that because we are already at the appropriate launch window. We just got to fly on up there. So we're going to put ourselves into, as Walt was saying, a 200 by 200 kilometer orbit. And there is a 90% accuracy bonus, but the accuracy bonus is only for 500 points, and you can lose up to 1,500 points here. So if you want to say, screw you, bonus, I'm going to let it go, that's fine. But you know what? I don't think getting that orbital bonus is all that tough, so we are going to go for it. But what I'm going to do is, it's much, much easier rather than to insert yourself into the requested parking orbit right off the bat is to simply put yourself into a lower orbit. So we're going to go for, I don't know, maybe about 120 kilometer orbit, maybe a smidge above that. And then we will just boost ourselves up to a 200 kilometer orbit, and that will let us be very, very precise. Okay, so that's over 120 kilometers on both apoapsis and periapsis. Let's see now. We'll now do ourselves, well, I'm just going to stay on prograde, aren't I? We'll push our apoapsis up to just under 200 kilometers. Need to get the apoapsis just a bit higher. Oh, we'll just wait till we catch up to our apoapsis again and finish this off. Oh, okay, so sorry for that. Yeah, I was fiddling around, and I think it's going to give it to me. I'm sure that's not the 90% accuracy, but that's okay. We'll let that 500 slide. Yeah, my periapsis is only at about 177 kilometers when that popped up, but oh well, spending too much time fiddling. Let's see here. Plan your interplanetary transfer. Now that you're in orbit, we're aiming to reach Duna's SOI. Plan to maneuver carefully. You don't want to end up aerobraking on Joule. Okay, now let's take a look. We'll zoom on out. And you can see from those people who have done a number of these interplanetary transfers, Duna is already in a good spot. Remember, we're in a lower orbit, being in Kerbin's orbit. So this is just like a Hohmann transfer when you're doing rendezvous. We're going faster, so we want to take off or head out towards Duna when Duna is ahead of us like this. If you are launching, you're going to want to launch off on the night side here. And we'll just start pushing this forward. I may or may not have this in the right spot. I'm not all that concerned. I'm going to put out about 1,000 meters per second on this. There we go. And then we're going to get out to here. The way I like to do this, no super duper planny stuff. And then when you can take a look, click on your apoapsis, come back here. And this is where you can dial this into the right spot by simply looking at your apoapsis and pulling it forward and looking to see, you know, how big you can make it. Oh, that sun is in the perfect spot, isn't it? I'm hoping. Yeah, you probably can't see that, but well, I can see it. Yeah, I can't do anything. It's right in the sun. Oh, we got ourselves a Kershmak. Why don't we go for it? You can see I've got all of the various science-y gizmos on there. We got the Communitron 8888 antenna, which is the biggest one, but that gives me a really nice strong signal strength for Duna. It's a little bigger than really what's necessary, but I don't know. I thought I would go for it. Let's see. I think it's 3. It gets all the whirlies going. Don't really need all this stuff, but you know, it kind of looks good, I guess. And I did do a little bit of greebling along here just to try and make it look a little nicer, not just some really boring probe. Alrighty, and let's go. Oh, and of course now the time jumps. It didn't jump too much though. Okay, we are off. We didn't crash into our booster. That's always good. It is behind us now, right? There it goes, bye-bye booster. Okay, well, this is going to be a couple of minutes, so catch you on the flip side. Alright, and now we will set up correction burn. Again, timing of the correction burns are never really very critical. Clearly I have to do a lot of normal here. But now what we can do is drag this and see what gets us closer to Duna, and whatever are the smallest, when you get that number as small as you can, now you know you are in the right spot to be performing your correction. Right about there. Alright. Once you are here, you want to go into a 60 by 60 equatorial orbit, an orbit with an inclination of 0. So it's good to be thinking about those things before you go in there. And I believe you'll want to make that a prograde insertion. Wow, it's getting funky. Yeah, you want to make this a pro-grade insertion. That's pretty good. How's my inclination? Good indicator of inclination is just to look at Duna's or Ike's orbit and see if you're in the same plane as it. Pretty darn close. Where's my maneuver? Where's my maneuver? There it is. I think you can probably come down just a little bit. There, that's beautiful. Okay, yeah, you want to come around prograde, because I think if you come around retrograde, that's actually technically an inclination of 180 degrees, or it might interpret it that way, I don't know. But you certainly wouldn't want to chance that. Let's zoom on out and watch us approach. Alright, went over a little bit, but it absolutely doesn't matter. It's not that critical. This is an itsy bitsy teeny weeny little burn, so we're going to turn down this thrust limiter very, very tiny, smally. And we'll hit that. Alright, here we go. Oh, I think I'm going to lose my numbers. Yep. Okay, let's just get the inclination right. I can fix the actual approach later. Whoa, you made it! I can't believe you actually made it. Well done. Before running your experiments, put Duna 4 into a circular 60-kilometer orbit and enjoy the view. Yes, we will absolutely do that. Once again, there is a 90% accuracy bonus for this orbit, but that bonus is only another 500 points, which you can afford to lose. But again, we'll go for it, and we're going to do ourselves... Oh, I'm still on itsy bitsy thrust mode. Oh my gosh. Fix. Okay, punch it. We're going to do ourselves a bit of a favor by not doing this in one go. And again, this is just about for accuracy's sake. So this is really just about getting the capture. And then we'll come around and we'll tweak in our orbit on our second pass. There are no time constraints on this at all. I'm pretty sure I blew the 90% accuracy on my Kerbin orbit, so we shall try and do a better job this time. Alright, here we go. We have got our capture. I just want to get my period down enough so it's not going to take a redonkulous amount of time. Also, I don't want to worry about getting messed up with Ike. Let's get her down to 500 kilometers for the apoapsis. Good enough. Oh wow, that was really close. So I was about to say accuracy is not a big deal, but that actually came pretty close. My inclination, we can actually really tweak that right down to 0 if I so wanted to, because I can see here by Kerbal Engineer I'm an hour and actually we're going to get to, yeah, I'm 6 minutes from my Equitorial ascending node. So let's do that first. This is just me. I doubt this is necessary, but just to do. Now this is the ascending node, which means I need to be anti-normal. I did lose my shoot. So I probably can't adjust this. No. You know what? Best to leave it alone. I am in the communication shadow right now, so I only have limited probe control, which means I only have full thrust. Like if I was thinking ahead, I could have changed the thrust limiter before I got to here, but now I can't because I'm on limited probe control. I actually like limited probe control. This is like all you have access to the various auto settings, and your thrust can either be full on or off, and that's all you got. I like it because it's like it's on some sort of autopilot without you having to get into, you're not autopilot, but sort of scripting automated controls. So the controls are limited. At least that's the way I sort of interpret it from a gameplay kind of view, without you getting into mods like KOS or anything like that. So I do like that they added in that feature that the probe control is limited. Okay, we got our communication back. we are almost at apoapsis, and all I want to do here is point this prograde and just bring my periapsis back up to 60 again. Let's bring down the thrust limiter this time. That's good. And then we will get ourselves now to the descending node, which is in 34 minutes. This time we will be in the communication in communication with Kerbin. And I don't think this is necessary, but we're doing it because we can. There we go, 0.00, me likey. Okay, that's got to be 90% accuracy up there. Search for the spiders, well done. We'll start with a little flyby over the Equitorial region to see if we find anything of interest. We should also conduct and transmit a science report while passing by. You can do it with any of your scientific devices. Okay, and actually while we're here, why don't we turn on our toys? There we go, just for looksies. Okay, let's see. Where do we got to fly through? We got to fly through a waypoint here. Now, this waypoint, it's a little hard to see it. Let's bring it here. It's actually below 60 kilometers, and in fact, it is in the upper part of Duna's atmosphere. So you actually have to fly the probe through the atmosphere just a smidge. Oh, let's get actually started looking at where we're at. So you do have to sort of eyeball this just a little bit. We're on the opposite side. Yeah, we definitely are. So we're gonna just turn this a bit so we can see there. And now I'm gonna do this by, and you want to leave it a little above, because in all likelihood, I think that looks pretty good. In all likelihood, you will be going, you'll be losing a little bit of altitude on your way there. Oh, we have now entered into the atmosphere here. Best retract the toys. They are certainly increasing the drag when they're deployed, as are these solar panels in all likelihood. Unfortunately, they are not the kind that I can retract, so we're just going to have to put up with them. And oh, we are almost at our waypoint here. There it is. And minimum, you got to get within 60 kilometers, but ideally you would like to get within 15 kilometers for an extra 500 points. And again, if you want, this can be one of the 500 points that you can let ride, but you can't let them all ride, so we're gonna go for this. And oh, it just disappeared. I guess that's probably close enough. Okay, let's do the science. I got that on 2 on the action group, and we shall transmit. North Pole investigation. Wait! Everybody knows that the giant robotic spiders live at Duna's poles. Something about the ice and the magnetic field. Change your inclination to fly over the North Pole region right away. Go ahead and conduct and transmit a space report there too. We can't overlook any clues we could get with those scientific gizmos. Yeah, we are now going to have to go change our inclination 90 degrees. It is cheaper for you to push out your apoapsis and make the change out at apoapsis. So I'm just going to burn here. We'll push out our apoapsis out to, I don't know, how far should we go? I don't want to get anywhere near Ike, that's for sure. Let's go to 1,000. There we go. The further you go, the cheaper this whole process is going to be. But I don't know. There's a limit to how much I'm going to take of this. We are still in the atmosphere, so I can't time warp too quickly. Alright, we are out of the atmosphere. Let's put ourselves a maneuver node out here at apoapsis, which should be very close to our ascending node, and we need to get ourselves over the North Pole. So actually, This will be quickest if I go this way. That looks pretty... A little more this way? This way. I think I'm getting a little too picky. That looks pretty 90-degree inclination change to me. Let's get out there. Alrighty. Whoa. Periapsis just dipped into the planet, but that's just going to be temporary. And I'm going to watch mostly my inclination coming at me from Kerbal Engineer. I want to get that like really close to 90 degrees, and we can tweak our periapsis with a burn after that easily enough. Oh, that's good enough. Alright, I'll take that out. What's our periapsis like? Periapsis 51. Let's put it back to 60. So put a prograde just... I don't think it's required for it to be 60, a 60 by 60 orbit, but we'll go for it again. It's a nice number. Good enough. Alrighty, let's see, where's our waypoint? Once again, you can see the waypoint is a little bit below the orbit there. So once again, it is going to be going through the atmosphere. This probe's going to spend a lot of its time in the atmosphere, so we will set ourselves up down here at the South Pole. Okay, I am concerned I'm going to be coming a little bit too low, but I'm too close to it to burn prograde to raise that altitude, so I'm actually going to burn radially outwards, which is up from Duna's perspective. That's looking pretty good. Where are the spiders? Ziggy. Oh, wait, hang on. Is that a spider down here? No, I think that is a glitch in the texture. Oh, here it is. Oh, disappeared because I got within 57 kilometers. Again, want to get in within 20 kilometers, I believe. We can get closer than this. Let's get really close, even though it disappeared on us. Oh, now it disappeared on that view. So that must be close enough. 2 again. You can see I just got it hooked to the temperature scan. No need to worry about all the rest of the science. It really doesn't matter. South Pole next. No trace of giant robotic spiders yet. This could only mean one thing. They're hiding at the South Pole. So go ahead and fly by the South Pole region immediately. You already know the drill, so conduct and transmit a science report again from there. Okay, so continue. Let's see here. South Pole. Now I do have to... Oh, look at my periapsis dipping down. So what we're going to need to do... We're already pointing prograde. Let's bring up our altitude. Got to be within 20 kilometers. Oh, just disappeared it. I bet you that's the 20 kilometer mark. So science. And transmit. Alright, stop this nonsense. Alright, knock it off. There's no evidence of any giant robot spiders, and there never was. We can't let paranoid delusions dictate our scientific agenda, otherwise we'll never make any real progress. Still, you collected some great data from around Duna, and we have enough to spend months analyzing it. Spiders or no, this was invaluable. It's time to let Dunar 4 take a well-deserved rest, crash it in the name of science for extra points, and do it in the designated area. Godspeed, little probe. Okay, now right now our periapsis is very, very low, so let's get our periapsis. We are in the atmosphere, so we can't exactly put ourselves into a nice orbit. This should be good enough for now. So let that ride for a bit. Danger is over. There is our waypoint. You want to come within 50 kilometers of it. As you can see, I'm not going to adjust my orbit. Instead, I'm going to wait for Duna to come around. But what I'll do is I'll fix up my orbit. We'll go to the tracking station. Let's try right around here. Okay, retrograde. I can see. Got to come within what? 50 kilometers. Okay, let's actually, which way would that be? Anti-normal. Let's push my orbit a little this way. I think that seems all right. And then retrograde. Oh man, this is much more like... This atmosphere is nothing. Oh, I am almost out of fuel. That's it. Prograde, my friend. Air brakes on. Oh, come on. I only got to get within 50 kilometers. Should be able to do that. We got this. Sorry about it being on the night side. Oh, it was... The waypoint just disappeared. I'm going to take that as a good sign. But we are just a few seconds away. Oh, bounce. Oh, okay. I was worried I was going to survive that. And there we go, gold. 13,500 points more than I did last time. Not perfect, but not bad. I think it was that, I'm going to guess my Kerbin orbit that took away that extra 500 points, but everything else was just fine. So, that is it. I hope you did enjoy these series and watching these DLC missions. I will be getting back sometime to some of my other series as well when I have the time. But in the meantime, I do thank you for watching and hope to see you again next time.
Sick of playing guitar.